Now, when we think EVs, everybody always instantly thinks of a Tesla. Well, right here, we actually have a 2022 Polestar. These, I've actually never been inside of these until today, and I have to tell you guys, I'm excited and pleasantly surprised. I'm Kevin from Elite Flying Cars. Let's get right into this because I think you as well are going to be surprised. We hope you guys are enjoying the videos, and if you are, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. If you're shopping for a new or used vehicle, head on down to Elite Flying Cars. We'll have an associate ready to help you find your dream car. And don't forget to let us know you saw us on YouTube. All right, starting off with the front of the Polestar. Honestly, it feels a little strange even saying Polestar because I've honestly never even said a Polestar before. So they actually have a lot of cool features over here. So correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below. I'm pretty sure Polestar is actually made and manufactured by Volvo. I'm not 100% sure about that one, so you'd have to double check me on that one. But look, these are very nice bright headlights. Like being inside of the vehicle, the headlights even in an illuminated room, it illuminated the path in front of it very well. I have a little sticker here, Polestar Engineered, just like inside the headlight, it also says Polestar Pixel Technology. So now, obviously, when you have a full EV vehicle, this one right here is the actual, like it's the premium package one. So you have the full autonomous driving, and you have the full EV package on it. So obviously you have all of your sensors that are kind of hidden here, which look at that. That hides very, very well. They hide all those parking sensors and all the sensors for the autonomous driving very well. Right here you have your mid-range radar. So that's obviously, those are the cameras that prevent your fully autonomous from hitting the car in front of them, right? So obviously this being an EV, I'd imagine that there's a lot of trunk space in here and back there, which is something we're gonna get into a little bit later in the video. But while we're here, we are going to walk to this side of this vehicle now. It's kind of basic, but it's a very good basic look. So we coming down to these tires right here. You got 20-inch rims. These are pretty bulky for an EV. I wouldn't really expect this one. Look at that caliper. Those are Brembos on there. I wouldn't think I'd see the day that an EV would have massive 6-piston Brembos on there for braking. One of the coolest things I've ever seen on an EV, and this, you know what, right there, first and foremost, something that dominates a Tesla in my opinion, quite honestly. First and foremost, everybody will compare a lot of these vehicles to a Tesla. And I think just starting right here and the front already dominates a Tesla. Moving deeper to the side of the vehicle, you have these very luxury feeling handles. Like this door doesn't feel too heavy, but the overall handles, they're big and bulky, but I think it really fits with the overall car itself. Down here, you have Polestar 2, 78 kilowatts an hour, which is 335 kilowatts. This thing actually has a pretty good range on it. I was sitting inside of it and it said it had a 91% battery on it, but it still had almost a 400 kilometer range. On a full charge, you're looking at about 400 or 500 kilometers to a charge. That's pretty good, especially for an EV. Now, the one thing that actually stood out to me is the mirrors here, your side view mirrors, they're actually frameless, which is also something I've never actually seen with a lot of vehicles. And we could go through any vehicle here in the showroom, which is, there's a Tesla over there, right there, that we could compare to. None of them are technically frameless, but this one has like a very nice frameless effect. Moving down the vehicle a little bit more, kind of looks like a Honda Civic mixed with like a Toyota Camry. So making a mid-size like sedan for people to buy that's also EV, I think this is kind of the right choice. And to also compare to the Civic or the Camry, the price point for this car is actually very fair, which is something we're gonna get into the end of the video. Now, moving around to the back here, this is the Polestar logo. Look at that. That is a very cool design, I will say, for Polestar. They have this kind of nice little bent design going around the hood, but then the logo kind of follows those refracted angles, which I think is really cool. Kind of basic rear end here. I would say from this, I get kind of like Honda Civic from this, but then with all of this together, I would say kind of like the newer styles of the Ford Tauruses. Very nice look to this vehicle. It's simplistic, but the simplicity in it makes it that much better. So now that the car is actually like the lights are on, look at this. That looks beautiful. Wow, that is actually a really cool effect. So I've seen that effect a couple times in like Ford Mustangs where they have that kind of like pattern effect. That also kind of has the same thing. Now, you might be looking at this and go, well, there's no handle here because this is all flat with that refracted angle. There's nothing here. There's nothing really to grab on. How do you open this car? Well, you have your key out here, which, like I was saying, the key looks like a hotel key fob, which is kind of nice. It's simplistic, which is what I was telling you about this car. It's simplistic but natural, and I really like it. It's like all the like Toyotas and Hondas you see, just a little click, and it all opens up for you. That's awesome in my opinion. Now, like we've been seeing on all cars, they usually add this kind of like, I think they're called like a tonneau cover. Everybody usually comes with this standard now, which is pretty nice. But you see over here, your seats, I don't think your seats come back, but the middle here does come down, so you can access the inside of the vehicle from the trunk if need be. A lot of storage space, I will say. You have your charger here for your car, but there's also extra storage space down there as well, which this is kind of nice. You could definitely use this for any trip, any vacation, grocery run, taking the kids to school, taking the kids to hockey practice to and from, and you'll definitely have enough room all the time. So now that we've looked around the front, side, and back of this car, let's actually hop into this thing and compare it to a Tesla, because like I said, this is my first time in a Polestar. I've never been in one aside from today. We're gonna give some honest opinions on this thing for someone who's never actually been in one. So let's go hop in and go take a look. All right, first impressions getting into the Polestar. We're gonna grab the key and just keep it nearby just in case we need that. So like I was saying previously, this car has about 91% battery in it and its range is 380 kilometers. Give or take that 9% will probably bring it about to like 420, maybe 450. Now sitting in here, wow. I've been in many Teslas, but never a Polestar, and I got to say this dominates. This quite honestly dominates, and I'm saying that truthfully. This is way better than a Tesla. Everything in here feels cleaner in a sense, in the best sense to put it. You have your windows, automatic lock, mirror movement. You also have seat adjustments for your for the driver's seat right here. Very basic kind of infotainment system, but I think it's very cool. You have power off vehicle, wireless phone charger, mirror wipers, interior lights, exterior lights, locking, car status. Like you can change everything on this car. Like look, interior lights, you can change all this to high if you want to turn them off, turn them on. They don't let you change the colors of it, which is I would assume so. You have your apps here. You can also change your steering feel, your light, standard, firm, one pedal, off, low, standard, creep, off and on. So creep off and on is, for example, if you've never driven an electric vehicle, if you're driving a gas-powered vehicle and you're stopped at a light and you let your foot off the gas, what's going to happen is your car is going to start creeping forward, because your car will always run you to a maximum of like about 10 kilometers per hour if you take your foot off the gas, or if you take your foot off the brake pedal. So that's essentially what that creep mode means. So you also have your different sport mode and whatnot. There's a lot of things in this that really make it awesome. Like you have lane keeping, driver support, driver alert, road sign information, collision avoidance. This has full autonomous this has full autonomous in it, right? You also have your charging limits where you want to charge it to. This is, to me, especially going with the pictures and the captions and where you need to go, I think this is a lot easier than a Tesla. When you don't have many electrical vehicles on the road, you need to start with something like this, in my opinion, to really teach people with how this goes. Now, looking around, it's a very simplistic design in here. You have your regular seats. I don't know what material these are, but they feel good. They feel if I spilled something on there, it wouldn't actually penetrate the seat, which I think is very nice. Glove compartment, pretty big. You got your standard manuals in there. Wireless charging for your phone right here and here. Your four-way button is right there. Window heating up and rear is also there as well. That lights up when you turn it on. And as well, the parking brake is on, which this car actually doesn't have its own specific parking brake like you would in a gas vehicle. All you do is hit P, which hits park, which turns on the parking brake and puts you into park and reverse. Now, the one thing that I found really cool is when you turn park off, and it's off, and then you want to either hit reverse, neutral, or drive, it's very cool the way the shifter works. So if you look at it, it's like being like a Ferrari, right? You just push it forward. Now you're in reverse. Now the reason I wanted to really look at this right now is because this is the cameras that really make this car full autonomous. It gives you a full 360 look. Obviously the door is open over here, so you can't see the side, but it gives you an entire look of all around the vehicle, which I think is something that's really, really cool for these cars. We're gonna put this thing back into park, and I really want to hop into the back seat to really feel back seat and how that is in comfort. So let's hop back there. Getting into the back seat of the Polestar. A little bit tight on the roof here getting in, but I feel like that's honestly okay. Space-wise, I do have a lot of space here. You have your lock and unlock over here, which is pretty cool. I think it's actually just to this side. So if you hit this button, it actually doesn't lock all the doors. I think it just locks this one right here. You have your up and down window button right here. And one thing I didn't touch about in the front is you have these really nice yellow seat belts. The last time I saw something in like a gray with yellow was into a Porsche GT3. So I think it's a really cool feature. Now, the one thing we totally overlooked was the moonroof sunroof, which I wanted to talk about when I was in the back of the vehicle, because you kind of get a better view from the back of the entire thing and you see a lot of cool stuff. So overall, moonroof sunroof makes this car seem a lot more spacious. It feels a lot more luxurious, like higher quality than a Tesla. Like a Tesla feels very cheap and plasticky. Over here, I don't really get that feeling from here. I get like properly built with quality, and I think that's something you get when you buy Volvo as well, right? Now, another cool feature is if you look up at your moonroof and sunroof here, there's a weird little kind of projection screen right here that projects the Polestar logo up to the top of the roof, so you're always looking at that. Overall, being the first time in this car is awesome. This car is genuinely awesome. It feels like a luxury car, even though it's a mid-size sedan for like just a regular Joe Schmo. So we're going to hop out of the back here because there's not much to it. It's just like a regular sedan. There's not many features. You don't have a touchscreen. You have charging down here, heated seats for both the passenger and driver with your vents, but there's not really much to it over here. It's just kind of like a basic sedan. So we're gonna hop out. We're gonna open the front hood and we're gonna see what's in there. If there's more storage or is there some sort of engine. So let's go hop in and go see that. First impressions, I've never opened one of these before, so we're about to figure out what this thing looks like right now. There you go. So as we kind of figured, there was not going to be an engine here, go figure. But I will say this is kind of cool in terms of the Polestar. So you have your washer fluid fill right there. You have your engine hatches. You got a Polestar repair kit just in case something was to go wrong, which this thing velcros down to the bottom. And here you'll probably have like your tire patch kit and whatnot. But the one thing I will say is pretty cool. Look at this. This is your jack right here for your car to jack up your car. Not much to it, not much storage as well as opposed to the trunk, which I think it's nice that you have the storage space in the trunk and in the front as well, which I think is really cool. Overall, I have to say, this is worth it. If you're looking for an EV, what is the point in spending money on a Tesla when you can get one of these? This, I will have to say, and I'm giving you guys an honest review right now. I've never been inside of a Polestar before. I've never driven one before, as aside from today. And I will say, the Polestar for sedans and EVs is now easily in my top 3 for sure. This car overall has everything and anything I'd ever want, and the price point is absolutely insane. So like I said, we get to that part at the end of the video. This car actually comes in at about 50 to 55,000, give or take. A really fair price point. I would be so happy with a car like this for my daily driver as opposed to Tesla. You have all the features and more than what a Tesla has. I also feel like it's a lot more luxury feeling inside of these cars. A Tesla feels a little bit more cheaper, more plasticky. This one feels more like I'm sitting in like a Honda Civic or like a Toyota Corolla, Toyota Camry and whatnot. This being a competitor with Tesla, I think this is definitely an easy choice over the Tesla, and it's something that I think anybody watching who's looking for a new car, I think this might be the absolute best choice for you, especially if you're on a budget. I'm Kevin from Elite Fine Cars. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new, comment if you guys have any questions about this car, because this is my first time being inside and driving one of these, and I would say I am very, very, very surprised. So if you guys would like to come down to Elite Fine Cars, take a look at this vehicle and potentially buy it, click that link in the description and schedule an appointment to come see these things. Like I said, I'm Kevin from Elite Fine Cars. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.